Hey, so now we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of things. We've kind of had the tour, what some things do, and all this kind of stuff. Now it's time for nuts and bolts and seeing what's going on. So let's get into it. So we've talked about all this stuff over here. We're going to come back to some of this in a little bit, quite a long bit probably. And here we go. So if we click on the cog or the gear, or however you want to call it, we can we'll go into the first one and we'll work our way down. You click edit settings. Okay, so what this is the settings for the course. So as we work our way down, when you make the course, which you won't be ever expected to do this will be me, is we'll name the course, we'll put a short name, we'll put it in categories. So this is under miscellaneous professional development. We'll say whether you can see it or not, so kids could search for it. This part here will fill in more accurately, but right now you can say it starts at whatever date and ends. You can enable an end date so people can't get in afterwards, which is nice. We can describe the course. This part here you'll probably as a teacher want to change, which is you can add a logo via a GIF or GIF, depending on who you are, JPEG or PNG file. You just have to download it, and then all you would do is you would click on that, and you would delete it, and then you can upload another one. So that's that one. All right, so now we get to the fun. So you can always change this. You can change it daily, weekly, whatever you want. Then we got all these other settings here that they collapse, but you can open them up. So the course format is the first one. You have several options. You have a single activity format, which is like if you just want one thing available, like a quiz or something like that. You have a social format, which is kind of like just a big discussion board. You have a topics format where you can write the name of the topic and from the name of, or units or however you want to do it.
We have training courage.
And then you can also do a weekly format, which will go week by week through the course. So you can have, this is for week whatever, this is for week whatever, this is for week whatever. And it will give them, if you have an end date, it will give you all the weeks. So it'll automatically make all the sections, I guess. And you can show hidden sections will be collapsed or they will be completely invisible. So you can make it so they can tell there's something underneath, or you can make it so they can't tell that things are being worked on. And I'll try to show you and show what that shows, but right now they're completely invisible. We'll show all sections on one page. You can also change that to sections per page. So these are all things that you got to kind of think of, how am I going to set this up? Appearance is theme. Kids can actually change their theme. I wouldn't force it because most people won't see how to do that. You can actually force a language. If we upload, say, Spanish, and you were teaching blended Spanish, you could make the whole course Spanish. So they would have to type in Spanish and so on and so forth. The number of announcements, which is at the top, you can put a block, and I'll show you how to put a block in later, that has the announcements on it. Students have to learn to do that. You might have to teach the students how to do that if you want that, and that's how you're going to communicate with students. That announcement form at the top that you saw earlier is everybody subscribed to it. So if you put an announcement in there, everybody gets an email. So it's kind of a handy feature. You don't have to go to your email. It's kind of just exactly like Classroom, where Classroom you can go into this and this, but in this one, all you have to do is click on it, add a discussion topic, and say this. Then students, you can set it up so they can reply as well, so you could get feedback on your post. You can show the gradebook to students if you want, and you can show activity reports, which shows how much they're working and all that kind of stuff. You could change some of these if you wish. It's all up to you. Files and uploads, I wouldn't change this. It's limited right now to 2 meg, so if you have them working on something really large, we might have to change this, but it can't be changed by you. If you look, you can only go down, you can't go up. So this might have to be changed by me, but you'd have to ask. Completion tracking, I would say turn that on no matter what. It's a really cool feature because what you can do is restrict access to activities in your course by if they complete or get a specific grade on an activity before. So you can make it sequential, so they have to do step A, they have to do step B, they have to do step C, and they have to be marked either completed or have a grade or something. Groups can be set up however you want, but if you set them up on, this is what's called the course level, because this is the course settings, you're going to force things to have a problem. And so you can, with the groups, you can make the groups, but if you set it here at the course level, everything you do is stuck in those specific groups. So you probably don't want to do that unless you have a course where you want everybody in the same group throughout the time. Role naming is really something we don't even have to look at. That's like renaming what you would call the teacher, or renaming what you would call the student, or so on and so forth. And tags, if you want to tag your class, you can. You can put tags in. There's no suggestions, but you could call it English language literature. It's just for in an open Moodle, you can actually search for the course, go find the course, enroll yourself in the course, and start taking it. Okay, so this is what are called the course settings. Okay, so these settings are the settings that are over the top of everything. Big ones here are what's your format, and really this one here, which is your appearance. All the other ones, to be honest, I wouldn't touch unless this group one where you really want to have the right, the same groups always. That's about it.